All right. Um, Hi, this is Carrie Levin. I am an e-learning specialist in colors, and I'm here with my colleague Emily Bowles.
Hello.
And we are going to show you today a new tool that we have integrated into Canvas called Harmonize. And what Harmonize does, it does many, many things, but the main reason we were interested in adopting this tool is that it can really enhance the functionality of the discussion forums in Canvas. And one of the things we've been hearing from faculty in the last year since we moved to Canvas is that the discussion boards just are kind of flat in Canvas, and there aren't enough options. There aren't enough ways that faculty members can really have an enriching discussion with the technology. So I'm going to just show you some of the things that we can do with Harmonize. So many features, so many features, and we're not going to go over all of these features today. But just so you know, we have image and video annotation, auto grading, auto captioning. So if you are using, it allows you to integrate video into discussions, and there's automatic captioning, super cool. There's an equation editor. There's the instructor onboarding tool is the support features from Harmonize, or from the company that owns Harmonize, which is called 42 Lines, are very robust. There's a chat feature. You can do anonymous posting. You can post reactions. Like if someone likes something, they can post a little smiley face. You can flag a question for an instructor. Multiple due dates. This is a huge one for faculty. If you are using discussion forums and you have one due date for the whole discussion, but you want the initial posting 2 days earlier, 3 days earlier, 7 days earlier, you can set this up in Harmonize. And not only will you get multiple due dates, but you can have reminders sent to your students that these due dates are coming up. We can easily add multimedia. There is a version history. There's activity reports, so you can see who's looked at the discussion, who's participated in the discussion. You can set notifications. And oh, here's a huge one. It's got plagiarism integration. So your Turnitin, our Turnitin platform can be used with harmonized discussions. And how many of us have wanted to have Turnitin for our discussions? And I've even gone so far as to, go directly to Turnitin.com and create a class in Turnitin so that I can post a few of these things there just to check when I'm feeling a little off about certain things that have been posted in a discussion. But this is integrated right into the tool. It is set up so that it kind of looks like social media. There are cards. If you've ever seen Pinterest, you see a little Pinterest cards and you click on the card and it flips over. That's the default view. But if you don't like that, you can set up a grid view, and you can tag classmates on your postings. So many things that this tool can do.
I just love the social media aspects of it. I think it feels natural for those of us who are on social media, and therefore for our students too. And it seems to really catch their attention.
So one of the things that I mentioned that we can do with this particular tool is have multiple milestone requirements. So students will see when we set up each assignment that they're required to have a post, provide comments, and of course there's also, again, sort of mimicking social media, they can post reactions as well. If you've set it up as milestones, students will see when these particular milestones are due. We are going to show you a demonstration of how this works. So don't feel like you have to, write too many notes right now. We're just kind of giving you a little bit of background first. So this makes it, as you can see, this makes it distinct from what you get with a regular Canvas discussion forum. You can easily add multimedia, and your students can too, to their postings here. Now, of course, in Canvas, you have a rich content editor that allows you to add multimedia, but this will allows you to record right by clicking a button in your harmonized discussion.
And what's so great is that as soon as you click record, and it gets posted, it gets sent out, and the auto captioning is quite good, just like with our Kaltura Media and YouTube, and it gets applied right there. So if you want to have video or audio discussions, this platform will make them accessible by default, which is wonderful for all of us.
Hooray. Again, we've got multiple due dates. Both students and instructors can set notifications to help stay on track. So you know that in Canvas, you've got your little notifications area. This particular tool, excuse me, I'm drinking fizzy water and trying to speak at the same time, which is very foolish. This little tool has its own place where you can set the frequency of your reminders and notifications. And the Harmonize app is also very good, and students can receive notifications on the Harmonize app. This also allows you to assign a student facilitator for a discussion. And when you make this selection, the kind of default, all of this text that we're seeing in here, you have been assigned to facilitate this discussion topic as a facilitator, et cetera, kind of describing what a student facilitator could do. That's all in there for you already. Now, if you have other instructions or you don't like these instructions, you can change that. But that's in there for you if you have student-led discussions.
What's so great about this to me, Carrie, is that only the people that you assign as facilitators for the week see that, and the other students don't. So no one's confused. So I've tried to do this with faculty and a regular discussion board in Canvas or Blackboard, and it can end up being confusing for the students who aren't the facilitator that week. And this tool puts a little icon by the student facilitators, and no one else sees these instructions. So I think that's just fantastic.
There are also auto grading features. And so notice when you've got milestone due dates and auto grading circled here. If you are giving points for participation, you can set that up ahead of time so that you don't have to go in and grade everybody. Maybe half of the score is just based on participation, and you can set it up in Harmonize to automatically grade. If you've got a very large class and you're trying to manage grading large numbers of students, this can be really, really useful.
Just not having to count posts when you have a small class is so nice.
Yes. The polling, we're going to be showing you a couple of polls. You can create a poll, either a standalone poll, simple polls, they're very easy to create and very easy to deploy. This is a new-ish feature of Harmonize. So if those of you who've used the tool before might not have seen this, it's you can either deploy a poll right in your discussion, or you can have a separate poll, separate from your discussion. Emily and I were just chatting about this just before we started, and she said, wouldn't it be great for an online learning class if you could poll the students on what their attitudes are about online learning? And once they see the poll results, they can then make a posting about that. And I thought, that's a great idea. And I know someone who's teaching a class on online learning in the fall. That would be me. So I'm going to be using the polling feature in Harmonize to, as kind of an icebreaker. And of course, there's, a million other things that you could do with it as well. It's very easy to set up, very easy to use. And I want you to know that these slides that we're sharing with you, that each of the titles is a hyperlink. We're going to be, of course, sharing these slides in the CFE Canvas course. So for each topic, it links to, I'll have to show you. It links to the 42 lines support for that particular area. And as I say, they've got very robust support for every feature that they have in this particular tool. They've done some really wonderful kind of comprehensive trainings for us, but of course, nobody remembers everything. And so if you want to try something and you can't remember what we said or what we showed you, you can just click on any of those links. Any of the titles of the slides will take you to a link. Okay.
And of course, Carrie and John and Michelle and I are always happy to meet with you and talk about how to adapt it in your course too.
Another thing that you can do with this particular tool, and this links to a video that Emily created about adding ungraded discussions. So for example, I think many of us use a questions for the instructor forum, and that's something that you can also set up using Harmonize. And this, of course, this is a hyperlink that will take you to this particular video that's on YouTube with instructions for how to do that. I think this is our demonstration time. So I'm going to move my Zoom controls out of the way and pop into our course here. And I want to show you just a few things to start, and then we're going to do a demonstration about how to set this up, because it is different than the way we normally set up discussions in Canvas.
Carrie,
So,
could we first show them where they would turn this tool on if they want to use it in their class? And they go
to have this.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So this tool would be available for everyone. If you go to your settings and you don't see it in your navigation, let's just pretend that didn't happen. And it's not in the navigation. So I don't know if everyone knows how to change their course navigation, but to do that, we go down to settings. And the third tab, there's course details, sections, and then navigation. You will find it in the list of tools down below. And you can either drag it up, or since it's all the way here at the bottom, I'm going to click on my kebab and click enable. And then I'm going to drag it up to where I'd like it to be. Let's say something like there. And then I'm going to click save. And then you'll find it there in your course menu. Okay. Back to our module. We've got a little module set up here. One of the things that we know a number of our faculty want and could do in Blackboard, and so they weren't happy when we got to Canvas, thought, it really doesn't work well in Canvas, is to have a discussion forum with multiple question threads. So students are shown 4 questions, 10 questions, and they're to reply to, say, 3 of them, and they're to reply in the thread that's been created by the faculty member. With Harmonize, that is something that you can do, and it would look something like this. So as you can see, our faculty member, Emily Bowles, has created 4 questions. Her instructions would be, if the students were to answer 2 questions or all 4 questions by a particular due date, all of that can be added here. We see up above that there are requirements for a posting that is due on September 2nd and 2 comments that are due by September 4th. And so students can look at these questions by just clicking on the card. And there's a student that's already added a posting there.
So the important thing to know about this is it's not locking it down like Blackboard would let us do, but I feel like this grid layout where it says And I've created and we'll share these graphics with all of you. They'll be up on the Colors blog soon. But having it where it says question 1, question 2 in a big bold graphic, I think it encourages students to click on it and then to read the questions, and it makes it a lot more intuitive so that you aren't getting them creating posts outside the question framework, which I know has been a frustration point for a lot of our faculty.
So that's one of the things that it works much better with this platform than it did with just the native tools that we have in Canvas. In this assignment, also a Harmonize assignment, a number of things are going on. So if I'm looking at this in student view, for example, the student sees what their requirements are. They have one post due by a particular date. They have 2 comments due by a few days later. They can see that their posting is done, their comments are not done. They can see their activity that they've posted, and they have not received any responses on their post. There's a number of things up here as well. There's a little chat that you can, if you're faculty, if you want to send your students some message through a chat feature, you can do that here. This question mark up above simply opens a series of tips, which, can be very helpful or not. Here we have notifications on this particular assignment. And I think it's actually on all of my, this is on all my Harmonize assignments. And I think this is, this shows that I, test student, am online. So now I see what my requirements are. If I want to watch this topic, I can choose to toggle this on, and I can get notifications when things are added to this particular assignment. I see my instructions. I'm to answer these questions. My faculty member has shared a link that may help me answer these questions. My instructor has also recorded some audio. For example, I am adding an audio. Oh, someone should wake that person up. What a boring voice. And I've also, as a faculty member, added to this assignment a poll. So before students go in and let's show current results. It looks like dogs are winning in the current results. So we need some cat lovers to go in and fill out this poll. So, you just imagine ways that you could incorporate this into your discussion forums to make them much more interactive, much more robust, much more interesting for your students. Very easy for students to create a post. You click where it says create post. And then once a post is created, you can see that these 2 postings have pictures. If the student hasn't added a picture to the posting, it would either be kind of a blank avatar look, or if that person has selected an avatar for Canvas, that would show up. To see the posting, to read the posting, I click on the card. And here it is. Oh, I think the whole posting is, okay. So here's the whole posting there for this particular person. If I want to move on to the next posting, don't want to post a response to that, I can go here. And this person has actually added a lovely video. So as you can see, if you really start thinking about all of these tools that you've got with Harmonize, it can really make your discussion forums more interactive. Now, this is a polling feature that's not integrated into another assignment. It's just a poll by itself. Let's see, can I do my, I'm in student, I have to leave student view. So student's gonna do lemon. So I'm gonna leave student view and just, here are all, now I'm an instructor again, and I can see everyone that has participated. I can download my poll results, and when the poll, I want it to be done, I can close the poll. So let's see how we get started with this. To create a graded harmonized discussion, we start the way we start adding anything to a module by clicking here on our plus. Now you can do it this way, or you can go to your assignments tab, because you know there's two different ways to create an assignment. But we really want people adding things to modules because that's a really good practice. So I'm going to show you how to do it that way. To create a harmonized discussion, it's, for a regular discussion, you go to discussion. But for Harmonize, we're creating it as an assignment. We give it a name and we add it to our module. Then, of course, we need to edit our assignment. And this is where we're going to find our super cool Harmonize tool. So I'm going to click Edit. And I don't really need to put anything in this particular text box because I will have a text box with Harmonize that I can add instructions to. You could put things in this text box, that would be fine. It wouldn't mess anything up. I'm going to add my number of points. And if you're weighting grades, you want to make sure you get them in the appropriate assignment group. And here's where we get to Harmonize, and that is through submission type. Harmonize is integrated into Canvas as an external tool. And so I click external tool, and then I'm going to find it. And I just keep scrolling and Harmonize assignment. And you'll see that now, for those of you who are using Harmonize and haven't been in a while, there are two choices here. One is discussion and one is poll. The poll is for that if you want to create a standalone poll. If you want to poll within your discussion, you would click on discussion. And if you just want a discussion, you click discussion. And we want to go down. We want to make sure we're going to add our due dates here. And our assign to, just as we do with anything else. If we want it available from until, we can add that here. And then we can go ahead and save that. And now you'll see, we're going to see that. Okay. We're going to see that interface, that Harmonize interface. And to get all of my questions and whatever I want to put in here, I'm going to click my edit button. So here's where I can put my instructions. I can add questions, whatever else I want to add. If I wanted to add a poll in my discussion, that's down here on the right. And here you can, it's very easy to do. You simply, put up a question. You can put up answers. I guess I'm hungry right now. You can choose, if you're adding a poll, to show the answers always, after participant votes, or poll is closed, after the poll is closed, or never. Let's see. Other things I can do, I can record audio or video by clicking here. If I wanted to record some audio to give students instructions, this is where I could do that. And it would upload. Of course, we want to be very considerate of accessibility standards. And when we have something that's recorded, we want to make sure that we have a transcript that can go with that. So be careful about that. If I want to add a picture, or I can simply drag and add the file here. I can also add a link. I can add some embed code. And if I want add more text, I can click there as well. So now I want to add my post settings. And here is where you find things like turn it in, for example. So you should recognize hide all posts and comments from students who have not posted yet. That's something that we use both in Blackboard and Canvas. If you want student submissions sent to turn it in, you can click right here and that will happen. You can allow students to react to posts and comments. So that means they could put, click on one of those little reaction icons. You can, if you wish, allow anonymous postings. Never quite sure, I'm sure there are use cases for that I just can never really think of. We can also make sure that things are visible to everyone. Students in the same section, if you've got multiple sections, if we're doing it as a group assignment and they're, different things for different groups, we can choose students in the same group. Private between student and instructor is also available to us. And we have that grid view, which is the default layout. And if you don't like that particular view, you can have the list view.
I think that private between students and instructors could be a great substitution for the journal tool that we used to have in Blackboard. I just think that's perfect for it.
There you go. Yeah, and it's a much more robust tool than what we have been sending people to use.
Yeah.
For that particular thing. And next, and here's where we get to our milestones and auto grading. So I'm going to add a milestone. So here's my final due date. And I want to have to add a milestone. I always forget how to do this. That is one posting, one posting, not negative one posting. That's 3 days before the due date. And on the due date, I would like 2 comments. And I don't know that I need reactions. If you want replies to the comments, you can also add that. There's a little kebab right here. And if you click on that, you can have, you can set a milestone for replies to comments. So I am going to add my milestone. And I have an extra one that I don't need, I believe. Yeah. And if I want to add my auto grading, that's where I can do that as well. We can turn on auto grading and I can put a certain number of points, which would simply be awarded when the student has completed this particular part of the assignment. So again, could be very useful for those who are grading by participation and say large classes. This could be really, really helpful. I'm going to turn that off. And then the next one over, this is where we can assign our student facilitators. So if you turn facilitation on, you get a drop-down list with your students. You can assign whichever student you want to be the student facilitator. And again, you get these set of instructions, which are very good, and you can change or add to them as needed. And so I'm going to save and close that. And there I have a new assignment set up for students. Let's look in student view. Whoops, this has not been published. Rookie mistake. You must publish your assignments or students can't see them. Yes, let's publish that. And
I love that at least you get an error that tells you that. I mean, it's a good thing for me.
So I've got again, here as a student, I've got my requirements. I somehow messed that up. Instructions, questions, poll, recording, and I can begin by clicking on create post and create my post.
So if you noticed, and Carrie just got a notification from Harmonize saying a new assignment was added to your class, which is a very robust notification. That's pretty great. I think this can be super helpful to help keep our students in the loop and engaged. So if I wanted to do an ungraded assignment, Carrie, because I like to have questions for the instructor,
Absolutely.
how would I do that?
Well, that's what this little harmonized discussion button is for. And as you can see, we've got a few ungraded uh, discussion forms here. We do have one called question for instructor, but we'll pretend we don't. And we're going to add, we simply click add a topic. So I've already enabled that right in my course menu, which would really be step number one, enabling harmonized discussions in your course menu. We could call this one questions, comments, indignant remarks. Now you'll notice you get, I don't know why this is, but you get a little toggle thing that says not graded or graded. But if you click graded, it says graded discussions cannot be created here. So why do we have that choice? I don't know. So we simply create the discussion. And again, we can add availability dates. We can add post settings. We can even send this ungraded thing to turn it in. We can allow reactions, all of the functionality, I believe, that we have on the graded, we have here on the ungraded. Student facilitators, we can add our instructions.
So the only thing I'm thinking about every time I think about implementing this in a class, that this is different for students because the graded ones aren't seen in the same place as the ungraded discussions. So I think that's something we need to just talk to our students about, or link to our ungraded discussions in our modules so that they can find them all in the same place.
Absolutely.
The
All
other
right.
cool
Yeah.
ungraded thing, I really love the question and answer tool in the ungraded one. So I think that's one of the options when you create an ungraded one.
Yeah, I think it's create topic.
Yeah.
Oh, cancel. Is that right? No, wait.
Well, it's not, maybe they've changed the interface. But there's a Q&A tool that encourages students to answer questions for one another.
It's the Q&A tool. I don't.
Well, I've stumbled us into, maybe they've changed the interface since
They may have.
8 days ago, because that happens sometimes, which is great because you're getting lots of new tools, but then occasionally you have a 3-day weekend and do a workshop and then they've changed the interface on you.
Yeah.
So that's my fault.
All right. So what questions have you all got about this? Let's throw it back to you. Anything else that you'd like us to show you? Anything that, I think taking a look at the participants here, let me stop sharing for a moment. And I know that Jennifer has used this. I know that Brian has used this. So anything that you, Jennifer or Brian, I'm going to put you on the spot here a little bit. Anything you'd like to share with other members of the faculty about the tool and how you liked it and what you liked about it?
I think my favorite thing that I've heard from feedback from several folks, including these guys, is that their students seem engaged with the tool. And really, that's what it's all about with your online class, right?
Absolutely.
Hi. I think I got a question about the post. So when you are doing the standalone poll or embedded in one of the discussions, can we track the polls of all students? Can Harmonize catch the information about who voted or who did not voted for all participants or students?
If you create a graded one, a graded poll, it does track that.
Yeah.
So any way to show or make a demonstration?
I'm trying to think if I've got enough to really show you. I don't know if this was. download poll results, tell you who responded.
I was just gonna go impersonate a couple of our test students and I'll answer the graded poll that you created, Carrie, and then we can show. Maybe show.
Need to add
again.
some. Yeah, this one's not graded, so, and I'm not sure I can, maybe I can add some grading to it here. No, it is graded. I don't remember what I did.
I'm going in to participate. All right. There's at least one student who's participated in your poll now, Carrie.
Okay.
If you want to share your grade book.
Yeah, hang on, just let me go back. Go
I know.
back to Zoom, share my screen. All right, I'm in my grade book.
So it's sort of an either or status, Brian. They do it and they get all the points, or they don't do it and have 0.
There it is. Okay. So here's my harmonized polling, and you can see who's participated and who has not.
So it still keeps it anonymous, which is nice, I think, for a tool like this, but it lets you know if they did it or not.
I think one of the things that I had to get used to in using it was that you will see something as in needs grading status in your grade book once students have met all of the milestones, or it is the due date has come up. If they have made their first posting, but not their replies, and the due date hasn't been met yet, that doesn't show up in the grade book yet. So yeah, I kept wondering why because, you know, if it was just with the Canvas discussions, it would do. You would see something there. What that makes not possible is that, you know, sometimes we want to do our message students who, and that made it a little tricky for me because I like to message students who haven't submitted by the due date for the initial posting. And that, you know, wasn't the way this integrates with the grade book made that not as useful. Of course, I have a very small class, so it's not that hard for me to see who has and who has not participated. But if you are teaching a larger number and use this feature, that could be a little bit tricky.
Okay.
Other questions or comments or anything else that anyone would like to see?
I have a quick question. Can we import the discussions which we have created in Canvas or Blackboard to Harmonize?
The way to do that would be to copy and paste.
Okay.
So if you've got, you know, your instructions, you have to, because it's a different tool, right? It's the assignment tool,
Yeah.
and it's an external tool. So if you copied what you had and then you could paste it in that harmonized discussion. So I guess the answer is not easily.
Yeah.
But if you want
any of
help
you
with
all,
it,
yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, set a meeting up with us. We'll help you
right.
transition.
Yeah, so I think that's, you know, one thing we want to make sure everyone knows is that there are training opportunities for using this. This was just to be a brief overview of the tool today, not getting too far into the weeds, but if you would like, you can arrange for one-to-one training with a member of the color staff. If you click this link here, and as I say, this will all be up in the CFE Canvas, it takes you to this book colors page, and this is kind of a new thing we're trying out with our Office 365. You can book a consult with any of us in the colors staff, or, you know, if you don't have any preference, meet with any available colors staff by clicking on that link. If you feel that your department your whole department would really benefit from adopting this tool. We would love to do full departmental trainings for you, and just let us know. We can arrange that. I think many of you already know this, but we do have office hours Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. every day. I believe we're going to be adding 2 o'clock. Is that correct? In the fall, we'll be doing 10 and 2, at least for a little while.
That's correct, Terry.
That's correct. Thank you, Michelle. So, and that's our colors. This is a link to the colors Zoom room. And of course, this link sends you to those support guides that Harmonize has created. They've done a beautiful job in creating guides to show you how to do everything that this tool can do. It does so many different things. I love the Turnitin integration. I know other people love the student-led discussions, and this particular link will take you there. So I think you all know how to contact us, and we look forward to hearing from you, and hope that you'd be willing to give this a try.